I got for selling me clothes, tuppence for selling me blanket. If ever I list for the soldier again, devil shall be me sergeant.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, obviously if you're watching this then, because I make this part before the other part, you're now wishing to see how I modified a Bergen. Been looking around for a decent day sack, not too expensive obviously, because you know the old tightwad there, and as you know I can use the sewing machine. So LK35, the Swedish Bergen, no more needs to be said about that. Military mark, £17.50. What I did do was just phone them up and asked, could you sort me out one that's nearly, or as new as you can get it. Guy was absolutely brilliant on the phone. Said buy one off the site now, and I've got one in my hand now. It is brand new. It's never been used, so that's good. £17.50. Right, okay. So here's the deal. Let's see what we can do with this. Now it's 35 litres. And I think the fashion is to sew a few pouches on it, and you can get the Swedish side pouches, but that means that you actually sew them on by hand, and you're probably going to need level working to get through that on the side. Now I think I can do a bit better than that, because I've had this on my mind, and this will be a pre-prototype of maybe I may actually try and make a Bergen, custom designed to my needs. So ladies and gents, so I've started here, LK35. Now the frame's a bit heavy. It is comfortable. I've had David Fair's one on when he's had it really properly packed out, and it is. But for me, I've traditionally never liked metal frames unless there's a positive to them. So the jury's out at this moment whether I'm going to put it back on the frame or sew some kit mat in at the back of it and just have it as a non-framed Bergen. But anyway, now the problem is, for anybody that's got a sewing machine or whatever it is, you can't get your sewing machine down this side to sew things on, if that makes sense, out of the same material. But again, there's the back, lovely bit of kit, never been used, really happy with that. So cheers Military Martin. Like I say, he did a bit of personal service there, sorted me out a brand new one, or the best one he had in the stock. So literally, ladies and gents, what I'm going to have to do, and again, this will be, loads of people love these Bergens, so hopefully somebody else is going to want to do it, or give people with sewing machine an idea how I would go about it. And if you want to do it, job done. It's very well worth making this video again. Sorry about the wind, that's why I'm not out today, because it's like 80-90 miles an hour out there. So basically, to do what I want to do, to make it a lot easier, and so I can do it with a sewing machine, I've got to deconstruct the Bergen. But I'm going to do that in the simplest way possible. So I'll bring you back in a sec and show you how I'm going to do that. Right, ladies and gents, you're back now, and here we see the Bergen. I've turned it inside out, which is easy to do without the frame. My first thought was to take the back off, just unstitch the back. But there again, even on the sewing machine, and my one's semi-industrial, to sew this back up again after I put all the bits on that I want, this part here would take a proper industrial sewing machine. So on that, again, we always like to do things the easiest way. Keep it simple, keep it stupid. So this is the inside of the front of the Bergen. Now I specifically want a pouch on here, okay, so that's the inside of the front, and there we go. I will have no problems sewing through that or that when I put it back together again. And these things are blooming well made. You couldn't buy the material for £17.50. I can't, and you can't, and the strapping, you're having a laugh, aren't you? So what I'm going to do with that implement, and more so that implement, which is a Swan Norton scalpel blade, is very, very carefully unpick all that stitching there. So literally I am going to take the front portion of the Bergen off. Will give me access to everything I need to do, and a simple matter of when I've done it all, I can just sew it all up all the way round on all the edges, as you can see there. So yeah, ladies and gents, that's what I'm going to do now with that and that. I will put a new blade in that, always use sharp tools, as you know, and then take the front of the Bergen off, and hey presto, let's get tight wadding on this. Let's see what let's turn this into a Maxpedition. So I'll bring it back as and when. Right, ladies and gents, didn't take long at all to unstitch the stitching. So I've taken the front portion of the Bergen off. Really well made, I must admit, quite impressed with this so far. But then I expect that as Swedish Army kit. Hey, and £17.50 you can buy this material. So bringing you up to date now, the easiest thing for me to do was just deconstruct it. I can sew it all up. So there is the front of the Bergen that's come off. Now on here, I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer just to show you basically what I'm going to do with this. Right, here's the front of the Bergen. I've forgotten my pointer, so excuse finger. That's now unsewn, so I can get to the back of it. You know, you could never get your machine on there. I'm going to put a square pouch of about that big on there, and that's going to be what I would envisage is my shelter pouch. Also on the lid here, this will come off. I'm going to put another smaller pouch on there, and that will be an essentials kit pouch. So I put 2 pouches on the front so far. Okay, that's going to be for all my shelter kit, and that one's going to be for essentials, you know, like stuff you want to get quickly, like say waterproofs, you know, head torches, that type of stuff. I don't want to get bogged down with what I'm going to put in stuff, because we're all going to pack things differently. So there you are, nice flat piece of material, nice pouch on there, added to that, lovely jubbly. Having done that, and as you can see now, I'll just make sure, yep, still in shot, I've now got access, and you've got access to the sides. Yeah, so you can get that on a sewing machine, and there's the side of the Bergen. Push it all out. Obviously, it's just one of them things. David Fair's pointed this out to me. It narrows in at the bottom, so I'm going to do a pouch here, come out about 5 inches, 4.5, 5 inches, a tall pouch over the top. One's going to take food, and the other one on the other side is going to take water. So already we can see this 35 litre Bergen, I've just probably 2/3 emptied it by putting a few pouches on it. So there's going to be 2 side pouches there and there. Like I say, undecided if I'm going to maybe unstitch, because there's a little pouch in there, which is always really nice. I may put sleeve pouches, just make sure I'm in shot there, an inner sleeve pouch, so when you've got things like your Laplanders, your axes, your small hatchets and stuff, you can push it down the side of your Bergen, and it's tight in there and out the way, and you know, not obstructing the inside. So you know, I'm sort of be famous for just putting a small inner pouch on that won't obstruct. Obviously I'll sew that one on first and go around the inside, and that's just to slip things in, you know, like your cookers and your fold down grates and stuff like that. But at the moment I've got an idea to sew a piece of material around there after taking that off, and literally making a sleep mat area there where you can put it in. I'll do it Velcro so I can take it out if I need to sit on it, but then have that as opposed to having the steel frame on the Bergen. So at the moment, and it's all subject to change, the steel frame is looking to be slightly redundant. But anyway, ladies and gents, it's getting a bit dark here now, and this weather's terrible, so crack on, and I'll try and get as much as I can of that done tonight, and you know, tomorrow if I get time I'll show you some progress. But I hope that makes it simple for you, because even if you just want some simple side pouches, rip the front off, you can get to the whole Bergen, and all you've got to do is literally sew that to that all the way back. You don't have to go as fancy or as flash as me, okay? That will all go all the way around the sewing machine. Again, it's not too thick on this corner bit. It would have been on the back for, you know, if you've just got a home sewing machine as opposed to a semi-industrial one. Turn it inside out, bosh, job done. Bring you back. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a pause on this. Late doors last night. I had some parachute material and some black Cador and Ireland, which I've been waiting up, turned up in the post. So I've made a few bits because I've got a few parcels I want to send out. But hey ho, back to this now. What I did manage to do was sew on the what I will call a shelter pouch, because that's what I envisage going in there. Obviously you can put what else you want in there. Again, I've consulted my boss, Mrs. Tightward. I was going to do it green and brown, but she said, oh no, the green. Okay, so this is the rear of the outside of the Bergen. Again, that's normally where people put the axe down and that. And all I've done is 5 inches, maybe I should have done that 4.5, I don't know, but that's 5 inches by 10 inches and again 10 inches or just slightly over 10 inches tall, which just nicely fits on there. And again, I've gone for the Velcro rather than the straps because the two main straps are going to come down from the bottom to further secure this anyway, but there ain't nothing coming out of there with two like big 50mm military Velcro grade strips on there, ladies and gents. So inside, I've not decided whether I need what I call me panty rings over there. I might put a little flap just to secure that in there. And as we'll say, and again, turned up lake doors light, an extremely cracking, lightweight, robust Silent top. I might show that in another video. But yeah, so that's just to pad it out, okay. And inside there, very, very roomy. And what I always do, because guess what, you're making it and you can, I put a little pouch, again that's just a black nylon I was waiting for yesterday, a little pouch inside a pouch, so you know you can have your pegs in there, your paracord, whatever you wanted, okay. But there's no reason why before you sew this on you can't just sew a little flat pouch on, turn it over at the top, job done, and it goes right to the bottom. Okay, so it saves you know, everything. You can sort of just have it where you need it and stick your hand in there and get it. So there you go, ladies and gents, a simple pouch, cornered it off, 5 by 10 by 11 we'll call that, okay. And that's on the outside rear of the pouch, not the sides but the back of it. And again, just whack something in there just to, you know, so there's a full-on tarp in there, you know, you've got your pegs and all that type of stuff. There's no way that that's not going to do the job. Even by looking at this, I think, because that's what I don't want to happen. Just make sure that's in shot. See where that is there? So I think I may just put what I call 2 strips on there with a bit of Velcro. You've seen me do that before. Easiest way to secure stuff in a pouch. Doesn't hardly weigh anything. But yeah, so no matter what's in there, ladies and gents, that with the Velcro, I've sewn it on so it can be pulled down well flat, if that makes sense. And also gives you some variation if you're putting a bit more in there. And again, the 2 straps from the lid will come down and cover that. So phase 1, got the back done. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So ladies and gents, without making this too long, I now need to well, 1, go down to the post office and post some things, and 2, come back and sort out some side pouches for the Bergen. So I'll bring you back when I've got that done. Right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about the old, well, not going to apologise for the sun coming out. Murphy's Law, we started doing a bit of filming. There's a long black line down there. That's obviously just from one of the bins on my conservatory. The side pouches on this now, I'll spend a little bit of time and take you through how I make the side pouches. Obviously I'm aware, if you're not going to be making stuff or doing this sort of conversion or getting ideas from me, then you won't be watching this anyway. So people that will be watching it will appreciate a little bit more time. Okay, side pouch then. Again, everything I'm doing is 1000 Cordura, which is you know, proper full-on Bergen material. Is the bottom. That's how I've measured it out. Now I've worked out from the pouch I want it 12 inches tall, 5 inches at the side, 6 inches along the front, and obviously a corresponding 5 inches. And obviously the bottom, which is that will be the bottom square bit there. I'll move that there. That will be the bottom square bit once I've sewn that up. Is obviously 5. So it's 5 by 6 by 5 by 12. So that's all 5 inches, carefully marked out. But obviously if you want something 12 inches, by the time you turn that bit over, and I'm just going to come in and make sure I'm in shot. Yeah, you turn that bit over, obviously there's an inch gone there, and you want a nice little stiff top to it so it doesn't, you know, keep folding and collapsing every time you're putting stuff in and out. So basically that's the pouch sewn up. So I'm going to go away now, turn that lip over, and again there's a square that you marked out here, and you'll see a diagonal line. And this is the bit that seems to, when you want to make a box pouch, I'll show you once it's sewn up. I've already made one. You will now see that there is a line here, that diagonal line there, and I will be sewing up that line. Okay, so that then will be surplus to requirements. And when I've done it on the other side, again, there it is, 5 by 5. Take it to a corner, line it up, and that's going to be my sew line. I'm going to sew up there and sew back down, and again sew up there and sew back down once that one's obviously triangulated. So I'll bring you back on that. So literally that's how you make the formation or the shape of your square or box pouch. So bring you back when I've done that. Right, ladies and gents, if you can hear a bit of clanking in the background, that's the washing machine on. Flat piece of material, taken it away, as I said, again, to allow for the turnover. I wanted it 12 high, done it 13, cut the rows of stitching off there, just really makes that the top of your pouch quite firm, it won't fold over on you. Okay then, as we said, 2 lines coming down. Literally what I'm going to do, I want to make sure this is in shot, because this is a bit I really want to capture. Would be handy if it went, yeah, that's a bit better. Again, here we see where I've gathered the piece of material and sewn down that line. Okay, done the same on the other side, but only as you see there, I've cut it off. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that's how, literally, when you turn the pouch inside out, right top corners. Got threads all over the place. And again, you can't really see because it's a bloody light. There is the bottom of the pouch. Okay, 6 by 5 by 5, literally. So that's how it forms the pouch. Okay, once that's cut off, this is a bit that's going to be sewn onto the side. I'll get rid of that in a minute. So that's one. There's one I prepared earlier, true Blue Peter style. Here we can see. And what I've done on each corner, I've gone and sewn along the bottom and the bottom just by pinching it. Okay, marking out where it needs to go just by pinching it like that, getting it straight, and then running a thin line of stitching down there. So you really do get, you know, the square box that you're looking at. I prefer to do that. It doesn't really need to be done, but I think it just makes it a lot neater and forms a pouch. Okie dokie, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. There's it's the right way round. Here's a nice square. That's to be sewn onto the side like that. And what you need to do now, because you can't do it later on, obviously I'm going to close this with a fast X clip, is sew that bit on there, right in the middle, easy, just fold it in half, make a little mark, and obviously when the top comes over, that's where the buckle's going to be. And I'll give you a little tip now, when you start doing this, is secure that with something like a paper clip, so it's on the inside. When you start sewing things on, you're not actually going to sew over that, which, you know, will happen, and I've done on a couple of occasions myself. So there we are. There's the 2 side pouches ready to go. As I say, 6, 5 and 12. And there's the other one. I'm going to have to take it in and do all that sewing around the edges, but I'll bring you back once I've got them sewed on, I suppose. Take care. Right, ladies and gents, I believe I left you a couple of 3 days ago, obviously work gets in the way, with the front of the Bergen, which I unstitched to access everything else. And I put what I'll call an admin pouch on there, a shelter pouch on the front. Now turn my attention to putting sides on the Bergen. I say it's very easy to do now, because you can access the actual sides of the LK35, the old Swedish rucksack. And what I've done there is made up my pouches, robustly sewn on. Might bring you in for some close-ups on that. Box pouch, very easy to do, showed you how to do that. Clip lock, you know, proper fastenings. And I think that was a 5 by 5, but bearing in mind it does go a little bit narrower, so watch what you do. It's wider at the top and it goes in at the bottom. So what I've decided to do, to stop stuff coming out and improve the weatherproofness of it, is put what I call me butterfly or panty flap on that. Okay, corresponding velcro over the side, and then that gets closed over. As you can see, there is no sucker, nothing is coming out of that patch, and very little is going to get into it anyway. But what I will say, it's up to you, it's all in individual interpretation. There's the open part. If I measured all the way around there, I could, you know, maybe like a 5-inch what I call up snow cover on it, you know, and then cinch it down with a toggle. I always find them very annoying to get out, and with this I will waterproof everything that's in this pouch, but I'm going to just make longer IPK bags. Again, don't cost a great deal of money, and then just, you know, fold it all over. But as you can see, with that on there and that on there and that locked, there is nothing, I repeat, nothing coming out of that sucker. And as I turn it round, I've decided not to do anything to the bottom, because these straps, you know, you could have your loads of kit at the bottom. A little idea which I will show you, but all I may do just while I've got it there is sew a couple of patches like them on, like that there, so I can also attach stuff as well. And here we see on the other side pouch exactly the same. Come and make sure I'm still in shot there. Yeah, I am. It's just not brilliant light. And again, that's how I've marked it all out, exactly the same. And I was careful to put the Velcro side on the side that I will be using, i.e. not the side, this is going to be the back. And again, some other tie down points if I was to put something small on there. Now, what I will say, there's the back. I haven't done anything to the back as yet. Okay, it's all a bit dusty and got cottons all over it. But what I have done, and I'm going to bring you in a bit closer to show you this, because it's probably not coming out there, so I'll bring it back in a sec. Right, ladies and gents, we're now looking at the front, not the top, but the front. Right, there's the two buckles that, you know, you put your thing through to tighten your burglar. So this is the front part here, and it's got rather a large front part here, and I thought, well, why not waste that? My initial thoughts were to cut that off and sew a pouch on there, and there's going to be a pouch just underneath it. I thought, I tell you what, let's not just make this any more difficult than it needs to be. So what I've done, I've 50mm webbing, okay, seatbelt material, 25mm webbing, and I've done it, sewed it up so it will accept molly pouches. Okay, I can obviously put straps through there and strap anything across there I wanted to, like a bedroll or anything, so it gives me options. Okay, so I'll bring it back and I'll show you what I've decided to put on the front of that. Okay, and that's the front of the Bergen. So I can just make that come out a little bit better. But there we go, ladies and gents. 50mm webbing sewn up. You just have to mark it off with a bit of chalk and so forth when you've got a bit of molly, you know, placed up for it. It's none too technical, but obviously fits. Bring it back. Right, ladies and gents, obviously, because I sewed that bit of seatbelt material on there, the wide bit and the narrow bit. This is a little military pouch, picked it up at, you know, Coppers off a boot fair or somewhere. That's designed to take a 100 rounds of 5.56, really robust little pouch, and that's on the actual lid of the Bergen, which you'll have seen in the video that I do beforehand. And for me, that's like first aid kit and truly essentials. I've got the ability to take that on and take that off if I needed to, so rather than sew a pouch on, which would have been roughly about that size I would imagine, I now can mount or dismount it should I, you know, whatever I wish to do. And as we see underneath here, how much is going to come out, I've just done the old two straps, molly goes through as per normal and clicks on. So that's how I've got the front of the Bergen at the lid. Okay, and also I thought about the top of the Bergen, but I'll talk about that when I bring it back. Right, ladies and gents, light's not too brilliant, but now there's the front of the Bergen, there's the top of the Bergen, and again this has got the straps, so you can actually have a sleeping bag at the top here. So I'm leaving them, don't want to get rid of them because that will increase carrying capacity. And if you imagine there's going to be the shoulder straps, all I've done there, little thought, bing, I was obviously parking my breakfast at the time, I thought, well, no, I don't want to sew a top on there like the infantry Bergens, considered all things, let's just keep it simple. Seatbelt material, 50mm, and I've done it down so it can take molly or something that I will always carry, because as it's 35 litre Bergen, the idea with this is the more I can carry on the outside, the bigger day sack it will give me, or, you know, overnight, a 72-hour bag, grab bag, go bag, whatever type of old bag, particularly taking your fancy on this one. You've always got to carry water, so I'll get that set up. So literally, ladies and gents, that's how it's set up. I've sewed a piece of seatbelt material on there and sewed it down so it will take molly or Alice clips. Okay, so bring it back there, ladies. Now, as you'll see there's the American 2-quart water bottle. I always used them in the army, never let me down. Always used mine as a pillar so it didn't freeze. And I think they're a good way of carrying water. Now, if you have to carry any heavy items, at the top of the Bergen, you know, closest to your centre of gravity works best. So again, as we'll see there, it's easy to mark off. The corresponding Alice clips will go in here, and I'll bring you back in a sec when I've done that. But literally, all to do that, and it just gives you options to do, and you can do this on a K35 even without disassembling it or unstitching anything, is to get another pouch on. That'll come off and go on there as I want, but I always see this being on there, perfectly honest, because it's just a good way of carrying, you know, 2 quarts of water. Bring you back in a sec when I put it on. Right, ladies and gents, I've stuck it on there, and that's literally on the roof, the top of the Bergen. Remember, your straps are going to be coming across there. There's the front of the Bergen. So by just sewing on a bit of seat material, I've considerably increased the capacity already. And to do this, you would not need to actually unstitch your Bergen in any way. Molly straps on there, and that taking the Alice clips on there. And again, I think a very, very good way of carrying some water. It's right on the top of the Bergen, pushing down and against your centre of gravity. So boom, 2 bits of seat mount material, well 3 in all. And I've got the ability to mount or dismount pouches off there. Just gives me options. I'm very, very happy with that. I am aware that if I started making pouches and put them on the front, the actual front of the lid and the top of the lid, then, you know, I might as well just use a bigger Bergen. But this does give me options, and I always like options. So take care. Right, ladies and gents, there was a little piece of material in here. Took it out, wasn't serving me any useful purpose. I did aim to sew another piece of Cordura nylon in there to make a slit so I can put a bit of padding in the back. Now again, boom, you're going to have problems down here if you want to come across the back with all the straps at the back, okay, and you know where they are. So I just thought, well, I don't need to. I'm going to have a waterproof liner. So all I've done, and it's DPM material, not the slightest bit worried about that, with some roll mat. And the stuff I've used is the stuff you get for Tesco's, not very expensive at all, about, you know, £7, and you get a roll of it and you can use it for loads of stuff. I had a bit of the waterproof ripstop DPM nylon left over from the offcuts of some of the chairs that I did, so I've done that. So literally that can be free floating in there. It's not going to go anywhere, it's going to be pressed against the back, and that's the back of the Bergen there. Give me a little bit of padding, but as I've not sewn it in, it also gives me the opportunity to drag it out when I want to and sit on it, use it as a sit mat. So, you know, and it's easier to do than sewing a pouch and dropping it inside and all that, because I'm still trying to keep it simple, keep it stupid, and give myself options on this. But yeah, that's not a bad way of, even if you just wanted to do yourself one of them and you've got a sewing machine, push that down the back, you've got the frame on there or not, and that's a handy little addition. Also, as I say, you can pull it out and use it for some insulation for my fat bum. I'll probably only get one cheap on that, but there you go. And size to fit, not very hard to do, simple little upgrade to the Bergen. And there we can see there's the actual front of the Bergen with the old pouch on there. Yeah, quite pleased I've decided not to put pouches on the front and the top, just put the strapping on there so I can add or delete the pouches as and when I want. So ladies and gents, both side pouches are on, the back sorted out, the lid and the top sorted out. All I'm going to do now is sort out a frame, if I'm going to keep the frame on there, or my idea is to use, I've got it costs next to nothing, Alice pack shoulder straps and a waist strap. I will sew, I'm keeping all the strapping on there, 2 D-rings on there that will take an Alice pack shoulder harness, and here a D-ring that will allow me to attach the bottom of the shoulder harness and the web belt. Not too sure if I want a belt on this at the moment, but yeah, I'll sort of just sit on that and muse for a bit. But that's the back of the Bergen, and I haven't felt the need to do anything. All original strappings have been kept, and again on here 2 sewn on D-rings, and D-rings on each corner at the bottom underneath the pouches. again give me options. So that's my next thing, and hopefully I'll get that done tonight. So take care, ladies and gents. Right, ladies and gents, another day at the old Tightwood household. I've done now, I've decided I'm going to keep it on the frame. I can take it off the frame if I need to, if I suddenly find out I don't like it. Sewed the back pouch on. You're now looking at the inside of the Bergen. I turned it inside out. Sewed my side pouches on, my top pouches. On the front lid there's my molly strapping, and on the top of it there's molly strapping as well. That's as far as I need to go. All I've done there, this was a piece that I unpicked. Okay, that's the back of the Bergen, and this is the front of the Bergen. That's where your shoulder straps go. So it was just easier to take this part off. And all I've done is turned it up inside out. I bring it in close up and sewed it all around again. And I've used some proper decent Gutermann's polyester thread. I'll bring you closer up on that, see if I can get it picture, because the sun's not helping, is it? And my conservatory windows need a damn good clean. I've just been told by Mrs. Tightwood. So that's the next job. Right, ladies and gents, as you can see, here's the one side of it, but there's the zigzag stitch that I use. Makes it look stronger. I've gone over one side, and then if that one fails, I've done another line down the side, and I've done it all the way round just to reassemble the Bergen. And as you can see, I'll just pull it up. There's the line where you're going to see the front pouch that's gone on there, what I will call my admin pouch. There's the actual line of that. So I don't think there's much more to be done. That's the Bergen reassembled. I shall go round, make sure I've got all my little bits of cotton off, use a lighter just to burn them off, check my stitching again, and reassemble it and go and play, ladies and gentlemen. So that will be the end of how to, if you wanted to, modify an LK35 Bergen, just to give it a little bit more carrying capacity. So ladies and gents, I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you do make one or modify your one, do a film and let me have a look at it, because I'm always interested to see the what other people can come up with. So on that, ladies and gents, take care, and thanks as always for watching my films. Appreciate that. Thank you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick one for Facebook. I should be doing a bit of film on this, hopefully getting out tomorrow. But yeah, the Swedish LK35 Bergen, £17.50, cheap as chips, cracking little Bergen. And people's main problem is that they just want pouches, extra low capacity. So at the front you'll see I've done what I'll just call an admin pouch. At the side is a side pouch, you know, food and water, and the other one shelter system, whatever I want to put in there. And as it's got an extremely long lid, i.e. this part, the front part there, that part there, I've just sewed some straps on so I can put either the molly strap on, not folded down, or if indeed should I want to, using Alice clips, put a water bottle on there. Again, this gives me options. Do I want to, do I don't? But anyway, most of you know my channel, old Mac Tightwad. I shall be giving this a run out in the field at the moment, and bring you back in a sec. Here we see it turned round. The old shoulder straps come in for a bit of criticism, so what I've done is decided to keep the frame. Here you see an American Alice pack shoulder straps, and I've worked out a way, it's not that hard to get the waist strap on the Swedish LK35. No idea what the capacity of that is now, but I've enjoyed doing it, and I will be doing a how-to film for any of you that are interested. Anyway, ladies and gents, keep this one short, so take care, and hey ho, things don't have to be expensive at all. Take care.